Ain't nothing given, go and get it, ain't no other way. Always grinding overtime, I'm always catching plays. I ain't got time to waste, I'm building, trying to set the stage. If I'm gon' buy the block back, then you got rent to pay. Shawty came through, blessed the spot, and hit it with some sage. All these blessings got us paid, ain't no minimum wage. Deep in the game, and I'ma win no matter how I play. I'm in the game, I'm the star player. And I'ma win no matter how I play. Deep in the game, I just gotta win. They know I'm dope, I ain't gotta say. Hey, ask about me, I'm the realest in the room. The coldest, one of the illest in the booth. Don't know me now, don't trip, your girl gon' know me soon. Pick out the pound, flow through the ceilings and the roof. I'm in the clouds, I'm somewhere headed to the moon. Mixing and dreading and KK, give me that boost. Show me something, I'm grinding, I got the proof. Hitting figures, they see, think it's true. I gotta get it now, I can't wait another day. Ain't nothing given, go and get it, ain't no other way. Always grinding overtime, I'm always catching plays. I ain't got time to waste, I'm building, trying to set the stage. If I'm gon' buy the block back, then you got rent to pay. Shawty came through, blessed the spot, and hit it with some sage. All these blessings got us paid, ain't no minimum wage. Deep in the game, and I'ma win no matter how I play. Yeah. I've been winning for real, been taking gold on them. Continue keeping it real, can't take my soul from me. Kicking that dope, this that shit that had your nose running. Smoke one with me, get you so high, might have your nose bloody. Prices up and when you lit, you get them low numbers. Started with no budget, now my network across the whole country. Pockets on PDs, creatine, they on something. Can't do Virginia Beach no more, I need them foreign summers. Make sure I pack the studio and keep them cameras running. Me and the crew convoying back to back. Hummus, gotta get that overseas land, I need that. Me and Vivid dope up next, tag team champ. Don't gotta give me nothing, I'm gonna take it, best believe that. Wax on the blunt, smoking tree sap. Sipping on yak, shawty said you need to relax. Love, you been working so hard, put your seat back. Yeah, I gotta get it now, I can't wait another day. Ain't nothing given, go and get it, ain't no other way. Always grinding overtime, I'm always catching plays. Ain't got no time to waste, I'm building, trying to set the stage. If I'm gon' buy the block back, then you got rent to pay. Shawty came through blessing spot and hit her with some sage. All these blessings got us paid, ain't no minimum wage. Deep in the game and I'ma win no matter how I play.
Cause he wanna lie. Real life, I've been with me and back through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Real life, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Flashing on these high beams, she won't stay beside me, even if I'm blinded.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? My first live show since we fell to the San Francisco 49ers, man. I want to take a little bit of time to say what's up to the people in the chat before I really get into the stream. It's not going to be a long one today. We're going to talk about, it's pretty much an off-season show. So I know that when I was coaching, we like to have exit interviews. So that's pretty much what we'll use this as the time as an exit interview. We'll talk about what happened, some of the good things that happened this year, some of the bad things. We'll talk about, team needs. We'll talk about some of the draft and free agency needs too. So, it'll be a real chill show today, man. And, I'm expecting, or I'm hoping for a lot of output from the people in the chat, but let me shout out a couple people right now that's in there commenting. Angelica Barone, how you doing? Always a favorite. You got Justin Brim, hopefully I said that right. Timothy Looper. Here come the bot. My guy the bot, he's in here. Hilarious. I see you following me everywhere, but that's all good, bro. I appreciate the view. Definitely do. Roland's Reviews, how you doing? Rhonda, proud member. Yes, appreciate you. What's going on, Agent 9? What's going on? Yeah, I can read Roman numerals, my guy. I can read Roman numerals. All right, so let's get into what we have for today. So the Cowboys lose to the 49ers for a second straight year. So disappointing. Definitely disappointing because this was the matchup that most of us fans wanted. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. All right. This was the matchup that us fans wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted this. The team said they wanted it, and I think the defense went out and showed that they really wanted it. The offense in the beginning, I think they started to catch stride, and when Tony Pollard went down, you definitely saw a different team. So, as far as the year goes, man, I saw Jesse Holley kind of tweet earlier that if you don't win the Lombardi, it's a failure. I disagree with that because ultimately, right, if you're a young team, it's just different circumstances. Like, if Dallas had gone all in with the free agents and stuff like that, I would totally agree with what Jesse was saying, but they didn't. If sometimes you have young teams that still have to learn how to win, and it's not a failure. Like Jacksonville didn't have a failure because they didn't win the Lombardi. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Dallas failed. Quite frankly, based on what we did in the offseason, we didn't do very, very much. And with the injury to Dak early on, you would think that this team would have fell apart, and they didn't. I actually picked this team to go a little bit worse than we did last year, which was 11-6, and we ended up being 12-5 again. So they exceeded my expectations, and they also won a playoff game. Before the year, I don't know if I had us winning the playoff game. I think I had us going out in the first round again. So they exceeded my expectations there again. So as the year went on, I thought something different because you start to believe. So, what you see throughout the year, that's completely different than what you say in the beginning of the year or what you say in the off season, based on the things that happen. And I think as far as what I expected, the team exceeded what I thought they would be. And so I'm not going to say I'm proud of this team because I'm not really, because ultimately I do think that we still left some meat on the bone again. You know what I'm saying? I think we left some meat on the bone again. And I think ultimately we became who we end up being. I still don't think that this team is playing to its maximum potential. You're a joke. You're following me, guy. You know what I'm saying? These trolls are hilarious. These bots out here. You know what? Keep commenting, my guy, because you're just going to bring my algorithm up. It's all good. It's all good. What's up, Primetime Phil? What's up, my guy? Hey, I'll tell you what. What's your I don't know if I follow you on Twitter because I might see if I can send you the link. But I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the show or whatnot, and then if I get through the show or whatnot, I'll shoot you the link. But let's talk about Micah's tweets, right? So I'm going to share my screen real fast. And Micah, was kind of commenting on this tweet right here. So I'll let you guys listen. So the Bills GM, I was talking. Let me know if you guys can hear.
No, they have a good team. I mean, they right now are on the advantage of a rookie quarterback contract. And, they had some lean years and without getting too much into their build. And, I don't want to suck bad enough to have to get Jamar Chase. Like, he's a heck of a talent. I'd love to have him, but you gotta go through some lean years to do that. And, they were able to get Burrow 1, and I don't remember where Chase was drafted, but it was pretty high. And those guys are on their rookie deals. We're paying Stephon Diggs a pretty hefty number. We're paying Josh Allen a pretty hefty number. So there is the constraints of the cap, but they have a really good team, and they got some good young players.
And so Micah was saying, besides Mahomes, every team in the Final Four quarterback is on a rookie deal and surrounded by talent. Interesting take. So a lot of people thought that he was talking about, Dak's contract, but he came back and he pretty much confirmed that he's not talking about Dak. Oh, look at my girl, double I right here. Listen, we're not gonna sit here and like I'm talking about Dak. Shit, when I get paid, I'm gonna want my big contract too. Come on, stop reaching. So I'm gonna stop sharing that now. And I do think people were reaching. And I think that was a bit of a mistake by Micah. Not with what he said. I agree with what he was saying wholeheartedly. And there's no cookie cutter way to build a roster. So I think what he was saying was taken out of context. I think it was more so talking about what the GM said. And I think it was, hey, you don't want to suck bad enough, but you sitting out the playoffs just like we are. While you got 4 teams with quarterback, besides Mahomes, you got 3 teams with quarterbacks on rookie contracts with talent around them. And then you look at what Micah said on Von Miller's podcast, where he was talking about, is it the team or is it the quarterback, right? So ultimately, the way that I took it was he was saying that talent, you know what I'm saying? Talent building. I think ultimately he believes that the team is what wins. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I took it. And then he went back and said, I ain't talking about Dak. Shoot, when it's my turn for a contract, I'm trying to get paid too. So I think if you look at what he was saying on the podcast, you look at what he said on that tweet just now about Dak's contract and him wanting a big contract, and then you look at him openly recruiting other players to come in here, I think that he was simply saying that talent on your roster is talent on your roster. Like, the other guys are saying, I don't want to suck bad enough. But Micah was just pointing out that, well, it worked for some of these guys. It worked for some of these guys that are left. So there's that, And it also proves the point too. And maybe this is what he was trying to point, because Vach says it all the time. GMs are dumb. Most GMs are dumb. Most GMs overthink themselves. And that could be what Micah was saying, to an NFL executive who thinks they have it figured all out. Well, the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl. And you got 3 teams still left. Angelica Barone, we got a new member. I don't have a bell, but new member. Appreciate you. And I think he was pretty much just saying, you GMs think you guys got it figured all out. Well, look, you don't want to suck bad enough, but you sitting at home. So, I mean, yeah, I do think that he should stay off of Twitter. Twitter is definitely a cesspool. And the thing that sucks about it is I built a lot of my channel through Twitter. And I posted a couple of videos on my Twitter. Pretty much, things like the referees blowing phantom calls, Dak Prescott missing a read, also Dalton Schultz dropping the ball, and just the amount of hate that's on Twitter is just crazy, man. A lot of people need counseling out there, man. A lot of people need counseling, because I made an interesting tweet where I was just like, I can say the best thing ever and it won't get no traffic. But the moment I put Dak Prescott's name behind it, and I mean, it just starts a fire. Like, I feel like I can't even be objective when it comes to my quarterback. I can't say anything bad about him, because most people are going to go out there and hate that dude, bro. They're going to go out there and hate him. Like, I mean, it's to the point where it's like the hate is just unreal. He lost a football game and he played bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious, man. It's not that serious. If I'm a guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes football, if I can, I mean, you guys act like you never lost before, or people haven't seen the Cowboys lose before. It happens. Now, that doesn't mean it's a loser mentality, because trust me, the thing that I told Micah to do was block out. I mean, not Micah. The thing I told Dak to do was to go to the lab and block out all the noise. Mama mentality. And also, while you go to the lab, make sure you stop by the boss's desk and you let him know that you need some players around you. I mean, hell, if Micah's making that tweet, maybe Micah has the leverage to go and say, yo, we need to bring some damn players in here. And that's what I meant by that. We're pussyfooting around the thing. We're pussyfooting around it. We need more talent in here. We need more talent besides the guys you are drafting. You know what I'm saying? So let me see some of these comments here. Look at some of the chat. Also, too, man, super chats are definitely welcome, and they receive priority reading. You know what I'm saying? Twiz, nah, he ain't coming to Philly, man. He ain't coming to Philly. But hey, congratulations to y'all, man. Look, I can't hate on y'all right now. I can't hate. Y'all got to the NFC Championship game again with a new roster. I doubted Howie. I doubted AJ Brown. I doubted Jalen Hurts at one point, just because I wanted to hate on you guys because I hate the Eagles. But at the end of the day, you guys found a way to get there again. And you found a different way to get there. And I think, if anything, it shows that there's no cookie cutter way to get to an NFC Championship game with the chance to play for the Super Bowl. So I can't really hate on the Philadelphia Eagles at this moment. I hate y'all guts. I'm not cheering for you. I hope you lose. But I gotta tip my cap to you guys. You know what I'm saying? I gotta tip my cap to you guys, because you guys did it again. You know what I'm saying? And you guys keep finding the formula. I hope that one day our front office can somehow, I don't know what has to change, but it always seems like we're behind the 8 ball. And it seems like Howie is hungry and he's making moves, and the moves pay off when he makes them. So big ups to you guys. T-Dub says, Micah really needs media training. The more he speaks, tweets, etc., the more he shows off how immature he really is. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I mean, to me, I kind of find it refreshing. In a way, like I've been in locker rooms and I've been around guys like that. So by guys like that, I mean just straight football players, people who love football, who it doesn't matter where the football is being played, they're paying attention to it. So I definitely I knew what he was saying when he said it, but the thing is, which sucks, is when you're a Cowboy, you're always scrutinized 365. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be regular, and that's the thing about it. You know, you would think after 2 years he would know that. You know, you would think even after that podcast, that he would know that you can't even say regular things at this point as a Cowboys player, because everything you say reflects the organization, even if you weren't even talking about that. Like, for example, if you say I like Pizza Hut, if you say you like Pizza Hut, oh, actually, no, they already got Pizza Hut. But like, if you say you like Sprite or something like that, that goes against the I guess the official sponsor of the team, and they're going to be like, Micah doesn't like the official sponsored soda of the team. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make it a news story. They're going to make it a news story because that's what these networks live off of, and it's crazy. Because they can't go a day without talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We got eliminated last week. We shouldn't be a story. The story should be the teams that are left. That should be the story. That should be the story. But instead, you know, they keep talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We lost on Sunday, bro. It's Wednesday. Let's talk about some of these matchups. Let's talk about Mahomes and Burrow having a rematch. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Jalen Hurts versus the 49ers. Let's talk about that. Why we can't talk about that? Let's talk about football. Why can't we keep it straight football? Nope. Instead, we're going to continue to hate on Dak Prescott, who made it to the playoffs and just had his best performance ever last week, and y'all was praising him. You know what I'm saying? So now, again, I'll be the first one to tell you guys, and a lot of you guys, you know, you tune in when I'm at Mark's house, and I tell them I don't give a damn about these other quarterbacks because I don't. But at the end of the day, I love football. So if my team is not in it, I'm going to enjoy what's left. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch and see what they do, and hopefully my team can watch what these other teams do and try and emulate what some of the successful franchises do that have gotten to the next level. Because if we look at it, we got to the next level from where we were last year, but the window is closing. The window's closing. And the reason that you say the window's closing is because you don't know who's coaching here next year. And that segues me into my next point. You know what I'm saying? Team needs. I think that your team needs are, number one, you know, I said this on Frankly Football yesterday. You need a new OC. You know what I'm saying? I think Kellen I think Kellen's time is done here. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe Kellen's time is done. And oh man, my guy Chris B. I almost missed the super chat, man. DMV, honestly, you extending Dak or letting him play it out. If I'm extending him, it's only a year or two. It's just me. I'm not going over 40 years. You don't have to extend him because he's under contract. You know what I'm saying? So there's an out after next year. My guy Jay Tuck did a great video on that. But if you cut him right now, if you cut him after this season, you're looking at $89 million in dead money. See, the first 2 years of his contract, which was pointed out, he was only a cap hit of $18, $19 million in both of those years. So when everybody was talking about $40 million a year, they was full of shit. They was full of it. They were talking about an average, but they weren't really breaking down exactly what that contract is. Now it's going to get a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get a little bit deeper, but there is an out after next year if you want it. There'll still be some dead money left, $39 million, But if you want to make a move to draft a quarterback or something like that, your quarterback of the future, you definitely can after next year. So it behooves us to make this Dak thing work. You know what I'm saying? It definitely does. And in order to do that, I think you owe it to yourself to see what he can do with new, fresh eyes, new, fresh system, something completely different. Dak is comfortable right now. He's comfortable with this, mainly the same system since he's been in the league. A couple tweaks from Boise State. He's comfortable with this relationship with Kellen Moore. I think that he's gone as far as he can with the tutelage there, if there is any tutelage at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can go any further with him. You know what I'm saying? Guys that I would possibly like, I'll throw a couple names out there. And when you hear these names, you remember DMV told you. Well, Frank Reich, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. That was on Frankly Football, and that was Space's guy. And I like that one too. I might have even said that weeks ago. Frank Reich, familiar with the RPO, West Coast, Andy Reid, Philadelphia, that tree. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want that. I love what they do. I love how Andy develops young offensive talent. That guy is a great head coach. You know, he only has one Super Bowl, and you know he doesn't have as many as Belichick, but he definitely develops coaches around him much better. And if you can get you a guy from that tree, you might consider yourself lucky. Don't believe me? Ask Daniel Jones, because the Giants only hired their offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, who was the quarterback coach out in Kansas City for the last couple of years. That was a guy I had on my radar 2 years ago. That's who I wanted to come in and be our new OC, but they decided to stick with Kellen, you know, and look at how he's turned Daniel Jones around. Daniel Jones was a turnover machine, and now Daniel Jones is more careful with the football, and they're doing things that play to Daniel Jones' strengths. Now, you might look at Daniel Jones in that playoff game, and he didn't play his best, but Daniel Jones played the best football of his life this year, and that's where coaching matters. Another guy that I like Matt Nagy. He is currently the quarterback's coach in Kansas City and offensive assistant. He was the offensive coordinator there in Kansas City in 2017. In 2018, he took a job as the head coach with the Chicago Bears. And, you know, he had a great first year, lost to the Eagles in the playoffs. And I think he lost in the wild card. And then I think he had 2 bad years and he got fired. But then, you know, he kind of went around a little bit, but he's back in Kansas City. And I think that he's a guy that could be great with Dak Prescott. He's a guy that believes in the RPO system. You sprinkle that in with the West Coast, and you got what we're looking at every week with the Chiefs. I personally can tell you guys this, and I watch the Chiefs, and I'm a fan of what they do. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I love watching them play because they play with so much innovation. They play with so much energy. And it just looks like the guys are buying. It looks like the 11 guys that are playing offense, they buy in over there, even if they aren't as good. You know, at one point they had line struggles, and you couldn't tell until the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is flying around and just, you know, having a good time. They make football look fun. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we could take some of what Andy Reid has done and add that to Dak's game, because those are Dak's strengths. Dak's strengths are not dropping back in the pocket and trying to be a traditional quarterback. That's just not what he is. You know what I'm saying? Do some things to help him. Get some guys in here who can get Dak to his easy plays, his sweet spots, things that'll keep the confidence going. And also get some guys in here who will have an idea of what they want player personnel-wise, because, you know, I was on the phone with Double I a little bit earlier, and we were just talking about the receiving core and how, you know, they like a certain type of guy. But it doesn't, I mean, to me, I always feel like football, should be whatever your team is, it should be catered towards your personnel. Your team is always a living, breathing element, and you should always work towards your strengths. And you know what I'm saying, not necessarily making it cookie cutter. Now, there are people out there who have egos and they believe that their way is the only way. And I'll tell you this, for the most part, those people that don't adapt, they don't win shit. Excuse my French. They don't win anything. Look familiar? That Boise State crap ain't won nothing but a damn bowl game. A bowl game that nobody cares about. You know? And then, you know, back to team needs, because we got to talk about this first. Possible new defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? It looks like Dan Quinn's going to move on. So you got to be able to replace that. A lot of people believe that Joe Witt is probably going to be the guy who gets the nod there. And, you know, I wouldn't be against that. There's also some other defensive coordinators out there. We talked about it last night on Frankly Football. Brian Flores, Vic Fangio, you know, people out there who have built defenses, built tough. And here's the thing, guys. When you got a guy like Micah Parsons, there are defensive coordinators that are going to drool over that. So you'll have your pick if Dan Quinn decides to leave. It makes me sad because Dan Quinn took our defense from where it was and made these guys have attitude. And, you know, I'm very, very thankful for him for that, whether he stays or not. I'm very thankful because I didn't know what it looked like for me to be excited about a defense playing in Dallas. I was more excited about the defense playing because they believed. You could see that everybody in that scheme believed in what they were doing. They believed. You know what I'm saying? And it's something beautiful about watching a whole unit of 11 people and the subs come in and they believe in what they're doing. Like, think about that, guys. Think about your dream job, right? Your dream job and you believing in what you're doing. That's what a good coach can do for you. And I believe Dan Quinn did that for us. The staff did that for us. We might lose some people for the defensive staff. See, that's how it's supposed to go. When you're successful, when you're really successful, and it's not smoking mirrors, and you actually have some pedigree, it's supposed to look like it did with Dan Quinn, because Dan moved on before. Dan Quinn wasn't giving nothing. Dan Quinn earned his way around. You know what I'm saying? Kellen Moore was giving everything he's gotten. He haven't earned nothing. He impressed a couple people by how he draws plays up on the board and possibly installs plays during practice. Outside of that, he's not impressed really nobody with his play calling ability enough. You want to know why I know that? Because nobody's offered him a head coaching job. Out of all the interviews he's had, he hasn't gotten one. I hope Carolina hires him, though. I hope Carolina hires him. Please, no, actually, no, don't go, Kellen. Don't go. Don't go, Kellen. Please don't. Carolina, you're gonna get a real one. I promise y'all, I won't lose no sleep if Kellen leaves. I won't. Have nothing against him. I'm just ready to move on, bro. I think he has the potential to be a good coordinator one day, possibly a coach. He's still pretty young. He's about my age, really. So I still think he has time to really learn. And, you know, but this team in Dallas, it's win now. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I mean, we can no longer, this has been 4 years. You can't learn on our dime anymore. At this point, you know, we need our quarterback to trim the fat a little bit. We need our quarterback to play a little bit more hungry. And if he can't do it, we need to bring somebody in here who can show he can't do it. And we get the quarterback of the future ready to go. Because that's how it goes. That's how the game is played. That's how Dak got that position. Tony went down, Dak was ready. That could happen again. But you got to have the coaches in place in order for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So Those are some of my thoughts when it comes to that. So in order for us to know the groceries that we're truly looking for, we have to know who's coaching here. So that's something that'll be sorted out in the next couple of weeks. And so now I want to talk about some draft free agency needs, right? And we'll talk about free agency. So my thoughts on free agency are, I feel like I'm not opposed to trading some draft capital if it means I can get a really good receiver in here. And some of my ideas are, I believe that I'm still on the Jerry Jeudy train. You know, I've been talking about that. I talked about that with Knicks. I would give up some mid-round capital for Jerry Jeudy. I definitely would. I think that he's a route runner. He has a speed. I think that he would fit in very well with Dak Prescott. Most of the Alabama receivers that were good, they would. I know a lot of people are talking about DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not sure I'm willing to give up what it would cost to get DeAndre Hopkins, but I mean, if you're scared, go to church. You got to. I mean, at this point, we need a playmaker. We need somebody besides CD that can help us. You know what I'm saying? So if they feel like it's DeAndre Hopkins, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. I ain't counting no pockets when it comes to this draft stuff. I ain't counting no pockets because at the end of the day, it's worked out for some of these teams out here. And it's how you hedge your bets, right? So if you're going to trade some draft capital, make sure that you trade something else or that you got comp picks to make up for what you've given up. See, that's what Philly been doing, bro. Philly been trading and replacing. They haven't really haven't had to cut their losses because Howie knows what he's doing. And I gotta give him credit. I have to give him credit with that. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a wizard when it comes to that stuff. Hold on, guys, give me a second. And while I'm taking a quick break, man, if you guys can do it, man, get some likes up for me, please. Please get some likes up for me real fast. Man, during this break, before I go over draft and free agency needs, or before I finish the free agency needs, man, I'm going to go over some comments real fast. Agent 9 said, go, Kellen, go. It's a good point. Daniel says, one thing I noticed about Howie Roseman is if he makes a mistake, he cuts ties right away. Blackman said, what about promoting Al Harris? I don't know if he's ready to be a DC yet. So, but, you know, I heard that there was some kind of tweets going on between Trayvon Diggs and possibly Marcus Peters. So, I'll let Tuck tell it, but my guy Tuck says that he believes there's a possibility they might be thinking about Peters coming here, or I don't know if that means that Al Harris is going to Baltimore, one of them two, but there was some stuff going on. Go check out Tuck's video yesterday. It's possible that Dak Prescott's breakup with his girlfriend may have had something to do with his pathetic performance against the 49ers. No. I just think he played bad. I think Pollard went out, and I think they panicked. That's what it looked like. But he wasn't playing like that throughout the whole game, though. I would say He did throw the 2 interceptions early, but I felt like he dug himself out of the hole with that a little bit. He was starting to play a little bit better. And then I think the moment hit him where it was, oh, damn, I got to drive us down the field with 3:50 left. We got that 3 and out. I think that he started pressing. And when Dakota Prescott starts pressing, it's not good for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, you know what I'm saying, Kellen didn't help him by getting him any layups or anything like that in the passing game. So, I mean, it could have, but I don't believe that. All right. So let's get back to this free agency talk. So, I actually wanted to take a quick break because I'm about to drop a bombshell for y'all of a guy. And if y'all hear anybody else say this, y'all know they listened to this first and they got it from me. I'd really kick the tires on Atlanta and see, or my bad. Let me see where he plays now. I don't know if it's Atlanta. There's a couple players, possibly. Okay. I kicked the idea to Jacksonville of Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a guy that they're not going to want a 1 for him. You can't trade him for a 1 because he missed a year and he missed it due to gambling. You know what I'm saying? I kick the tires and see how bad they want him or if they feel like they need him. Because it's around draft time. Maybe they feel like they could draft a receiver. Another guy, I doubt they would do it, but you had a bad year, so you don't know. I kick the tires on Kyle Pitts. I kick the tires and see what they want. Simply because, and when you say why Kyle Pitts, he's not a receiver. Well, he is a receiver somewhat. He's a Y. You know what I'm saying? He's but the reason I would do that is I believe you can go a couple different ways with this offense. You could load up a tight end, get you a really playmaking tight end to go along with the young boys, let Schultz go. And you know what I'm saying? You can go Hendershot as an H-back type, kind of like the 49ers use check. And you could do a lot of 3 tight end set things. And those guys can eventually, I think they'll help you stretch the field a little bit, you know, up the seam and stuff like that. And then you can add some speed guys on the outside. We already got CD. Or you can go get you a bona fide playmaker and pair him up with CD on the outside. There's a couple different ways you can go about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I believe in personnel. I believe in living, breathing element. I feel like you can take certain personnel and you can create mismatch problems. That's what the best offensive minds do in the game. That's what they do. Yeah, Rhonda said you heard it here first. So yeah, I'm with kicking the tires on Calvin Ridley. Cooks is always a guy that gets traded every year. So maybe you look for him as a 1-year Band-Aid or something like that. Obviously, Odell Beckham is a name, but I don't know if you're willing to spend the type of money that he wants. Also, with his age, I think you might be able to trade for a young guy in a bad situation. So, Jerry Jeudy's probably my top one if I were to do that. Yeah, it probably would be Jerry Jeudy. It's somebody else that I'm thinking of, but I can't think of that name. But a proven wide receiver, trading for a proven wide receiver and using draft commodity could be an answer there to help Dakota. As far as the draft goes, but here are my needs right now without knowing the coaching. My number one is wide receiver. I believe that we need something else out there. You know what I'm saying? Just assuming that Kellen's coming back, which sucks. But I also have a theory about that too, and I'll tell you guys later. Receiver first, guard is my next one, like left guard or tackle. Then tackle's my third. So Vought said it best on his show earlier today on the volume. Left side player So being a left guard or left tackle, because if you can find a left tackle in this draft better than Tyler, who's a better pedigree, you can kick Tyler back to guard, and you create a dominant left side, and you keep Tyron as long as until Steele is healthy. You know what I'm saying? I keep Tyron for one more year possibly. I think after that you got cornerback. Now I know Deron Bland had a heck of a year, but you got the opportunity in this draft to possibly get better. You always want to upgrade. And second corner was a question mark for us for a while. I don't think Anthony Brown's coming back. You know what I'm saying? If you find you a second corner and keep Bland in the slot, that's cool. If you can find you a slot and keep Bland out there, cool. But I think you need a third corner that you can trust. And they showed us through the playoffs they don't trust Kelvin Joseph. And they don't trust the development of Kelvin Joseph, and they don't trust the development of Nashawn Wright. They showed us that with how they did it. So that's where I'm at with that. After that's the linebacker. We don't know what's going to happen with Leighton. I would like to have Leighton back, but even if Leighton was coming back, I still would want a backer. I still want a linebacker. Because I think that with Jabril Cox is, I don't think he fits what they want in the middle. Like, I'm thinking you need another Mike. I got to play Mike in case Leighton goes out or if Leighton doesn't come back. You need a true Mike. I don't think we have that outside of Leighton. I mean, it's Micah, yeah, but we know what they want to do with Micah. But then again, if a new defensive coordinator comes in here, that's why coaching is important. Scheme and philosophy change with new coaches and new personnel. So, and the last thing is defensive tackle. And it doesn't mean that's just the last thing that I wrote down. That doesn't mean that it's last on the list, because if I go into this draft and at 26, they got Siaka Ika right there. And, there ain't a receiver that drops one of the top receivers. I'm going to take him at 26 because he's a space eater and he gets off the ball. And I've only started a little bit of draft. I've only started a little bit of draft. Like I maybe looked at about maybe 20, 30 guys so far. And he jumped out on the tape to me. So if I could find the guy at D tackle and at these positions, if I could find the guy that I think is the guy, I think he's him, I'm going to pull the trigger. And that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in best player available. I also believe in thinking outside the box, man, because while football has a lot of the same principles for hundreds of years or however long football has been around or decades, I don't know. I'm a young guy somewhat, but however long football has been around, a lot of the principles stay the same, but you can always tweak those principles. And tweaking those principles comes from the type of players you get. The athletes only get better. The capabilities of players only get better. Who would have thought we'd have a 4-3 backer that could rush off the edge? Who would have thought we would have got somebody with the capabilities of Micah Parsons? Not even the draft experts knew the capabilities and knew all of the things Micah could do. There are safeties right now. Like the new trend right now is the box safety, where they are playing linebacker. They're hybrid linebacker safeties. The game changes. You get what I'm saying? And the reason they had to have those linebacker safety types, I believe it was Bill Belichick that started it, really. The reason they had to do that is because of the rule changes where you can't really touch the receivers and stuff like that. You got guys like Gronk running up the seam against linebackers that can't run with him. The game had to adapt. The game is always adapting. So why not be the team that teams have to adapt to? Like, think about this, right? Kansas City traded up to go get they traded up to get Mahomes when they already had Alex Smith, because they knew what they saw. They knew it. They had a vision. And that's where it comes into play. You have to have vision. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that we've lacked a little bit, in my opinion. I think we could get a little bit better in the vision department. I think we've been playing it safe for quite some time now. We've been playing it safe long enough to, okay, now we can go get a guy. Because you want to know what not playing it safe got you? CeeDee Lamb. And look at him now. Look at him now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And then I'm gonna head on out, man. You know, I felt like this was a good show. We had some good comments. And I'm gonna actually go up the comment section again, and we're gonna read that because I definitely like talking to everybody here. Also, if you haven't already, man, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Also, we got members in here. We got a new member tonight. If you want to be a member, I'm gonna be doing some crazy things this off season. Crazy things. I'm really thinking about possibly, you know, having a members happy hour where we just Zoom and we all take a shot together or something like that. Like, what y'all think about that? Let me know if the true members are cool with that. We can have like a happy hour Friday or something like that. I'm definitely trying to get in tune with more of the fans and, you know, stuff like that. So let me know what y'all think about that, man. Queen Bella says she gonna be the next OC. All right, cool. Hey, just give me a staff job too. I could watch film. Angelica Barone, great question. Do we draft quarterback? Yes, we do draft quarterback. I believe we should draft a quarterback. I'm always the guy that wants to draft quarterback because quarterbacks hold more value than any other position. So if you get you a good quarterback, then you can trade him for more later. You got to look at a quarterback like property. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it, and if you treat it right, you know what I'm saying, you make the proper adjustments, you develop it right, then people gonna want to spend more. You know, they gonna want to spend more. Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. What happened with Jimmy Garoppolo? How the Patriots made out. The Patriots have been doing this for years, man. They created the formula on this thing. I can't tell you how many quarterbacks they traded for draft picks later on. Draft picks outside of the values of the guys they traded for, or that they traded. They got a lot for Jimmy G. And all that happened was Jimmy G took advantage of an opportunity, got it in San Francisco. They needed a quarterback. Queen Bella is a new member. We got a new member. Queen Bella. I'm seeing green all around here. Appreciate you, Marcus Blackman. Appreciate you, man. I just try and keep it real, man. I try and keep it real. I try and keep it genuine. You know, I got a buddy who has a clothing line, Genuine Plus. You guys probably see me wear it a lot. And I try and keep this as genuine as possible, man. That's why I can tell you guys things like, I really want to criticize our quarterback a little bit more, but I feel like I can't because I feel like the hate is what drives. And that's why they keep talking about the Dallas Cowboys on major networks. And I think it affects the team. I really do. I think the media coverage, it's a little bit different, especially with the social media age, especially with a whole bunch of content creators like myself and a whole bunch of people making stuff up that's just not true. And I think it's bad for the game. So I don't want to, get too much into the hate. I don't want to be the hate guy. But I will tell you, like, I'm not the guy that's going, sacrifice a whole bunch to make Dak try and like me if he ever were to fall on this channel. I try and keep it as real as possible, and I think that a guy like Dak would appreciate that. But at the same time, we're a football player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just football. Burning the jerseys and all that crap, that's clown behavior, man. Clown behavior. Donnell Jenkins, we got a new member. And we might have to make that Friday. We might have to make that Friday thing a thing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a members only post where we're gonna exchange information, and then what I can do is I can shoot out a mass email with the Zoom information, and we can start doing that thing. I think you know what I'm saying, we could definitely do a happy hour, do monthly happy hours or something like that. Shots on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be dope, man. What's y'all drink of choice, man, in the chat? I mean, I'm a Tito's guy myself. I'm a Tito's guy. Steve Mack says Dallas must already know Quinn is gone. It's already been announced that George Edwards isn't coming back. Wow. You would think. We'll have to do some digging on that. Tequila. Tequila. Mike Aldana says bourbon whiskey. I like bourbon and whiskey too, man. You know, I'm starting to get into the cigar game a little bit too, man. So, you know, I'm looking for some cigars to pair with some whiskey, man. You know, you follow me on IG, man. Shoot me a DM and let me know what kind of cigars and whiskey you might pair together. But yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I felt like it was a great show. I'm gonna leave everybody with the outro, but before you leave, man, put the battery signs up, because it's always BDE. It's always Big D energy. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hey, look, for those that know, they know, right? We out.
I can't feel the pain, I'm numb. All you say, keep it real and stay 100 through the rain. I can feel there's something missing from your face. So keep it real and stay 100 in your veins. Put me in these boxes, still I'm trying to break away. I just roll it up and down some liquor for my pain. Thoughts inside my head, it's nightmares instead of some dreams. I've been trying to hold on to everything from the seams. Try to get it by any means. There's no accepting defeat with all this pressure that's on me. Trusting whenever I breathe, cause everything is on me. If everybody is down, I gotta pick up all the pieces. Yeah, I can't fall, cause I do it for my dog, so she can make it farther. Ain't worry about your comments, cause I believe in karma. No time for your bullshit or any petty